So, All-Star Weekend for the NBA this past weekend. Some good, some bad. Starting with the All-Star Friday night, which is, I mean, let's be honest, a joke. Always has been. I don't know anybody who actually watches All-Star Friday night, which they usually have the Rising Stars. Previously, the All-Star, man, I can't even talk today. They previously just had the Rising Stars game, but now it's a Rising Stars tournament, which, did I watch? No. For what it's worth, Team Vince defeated Team Mello 25-24. So use that information what you will. You had the All-Star Celebrity Game. Only highlight is the fact that Amon-Ra St. Brown played, representing the Detroit Lions in that. Other highlight, Shams Charania apparently was awful. Shams Charania, the main NBA reporter for ESPN. He's basically the Adam Schefter for the NBA, but he was awful. He's the new Adrian Wojnarowski. So yeah, he was not good. Apparently he played in the Celebrity Game as well. But moving ahead to All-Star Saturday night, which with the 3-point contest, pretty interesting. Damian Lillard winning. Damian Lillard not playing this season, which I took exception to him being named a part of the 3-point competition. I think to be involved not only in the All-Star game, but for the All-Star festivities in general, specifically with the 3-point contest, dunk contest, and the All-Star game itself. You got to be playing this season. Damian Lillard back with the Portland Trail Blazers, got traded back there from the Bucks, or he got released and he signed there, something, whatever. He's back with the Blazers, but out this whole season with injuries. And for whatever reason, he was a part of the 3-point contest, and he wins apparently his third 3-point contest, able to edge out Devin Booker and Con Knupel in the final for the 3-point contest. So that's pretty interesting, I guess. We then had the Shooting Stars competition, which I didn't watch at all. I don't even know what this entails. I know it used to be the skills challenge, which I thought was always pretty interesting. But the Shooting Stars challenge, what is it? Shooting on the floor? Yawn. But for what it's worth, Team Knicks won, which apparently was comprised of Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and then Allen Houston, which it looks like they did that. They did the teams with 2 current players and 1, quote, legend player, which is funny. Some of the players they did name legends. You got Team All-Star with Scotty Barnes of the Raptors, Chet Holmgren of the Thunder, and then Richard Rip Hamilton was named the quote unquote legend of that team. As much as we all love Richard Rip Hamilton, I think calling him a legend, let's be honest, a little bit of a stretch. You also had Team Cameron for Con Knupel of the Hornets, Jalen Johnson of the Hawks, and then Corey Maggette as the quote unquote legend. Yeah, Detroit Pistons legend for sure. And then Team Harper, comprised of Ron Harper and his 2 sons. Ron Harper Jr. of the Celtics and Dylan Harper of the Spurs. I didn't even know his 2 sons played in the NBA. But there you go. So that was the Shooting Stars competition. And last but not least, the dunk contest, which has been a joke for probably the last 10 to 15 years. Which the last probably truly entertaining dunk contest was Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. That's probably about it. Because ever since then, and even it already started a little bit before that, but really ever since then, the last probably 15 years, I would say, it's been mostly not only bench players, but just straight up no names in G Leaguers. When your headline act, not this year, but the last couple years, is Mac McClung a G leaguer, brutal. And I remember a couple years there, it was, Jeremy Evans? Was that his name? I know he was kind of the big guy who was winning some of those dunk contests. But it's like, who cares? The dunk contest, really the last 30 years, has just been a travesty. But at least about 15 years ago, you still had some stars in the dunk contest. Like you had Dwight Howard, Blake Griffin, obviously, in the paid TV commercial that was dunking over the Kia car. I mean, that was still pretty cool. You still have star talent there. Names, at the very least. To be fair, Jalen Duren was supposed to be a part of the dunk contest, but due to an injury, he backed out. But he was able to play in the regular All-Star game anyway, so not sure what all that is about. But for what it's worth, Keshad Johnson of the Miami Heat was the slam dunk champion over Carter Bryant, Jackson Hayes, and Jace Richardson, which yawn brutal. So that was All-Star Saturday night. But All-Star Saturday night, notable for, I would say, a lack of attendance. There was some photos on social media of large swaths of empty seats. And this was really true for All-Star Friday night as well. I already told you how much nobody cares about All-Star Friday night with the celebrity game and Rising Stars game or whatever. But All-Star Saturday night, not great attendance, which is not what you want as the NBA. When you are probably the face of dying All-Star games, All-Star weekends. All-Star weekend used to be amazing for the NBA. But now it's just it's a joke. And it's easy to see why. You've got not only no names that are partaking in these events, but also you have the genius of throwing whatever at the wall to see what sticks. Adam Silver. Nonstop changing stuff up, and it just doesn't work. It does more damage than good. And it all culminates with the All-Star game, which, to be fair, I do think the crowd actually was full for this one. Not immediately. There was a photo. Apparently somebody took a photo 10 minutes before the All-Star game, and the arena was mostly empty. And it's kind of hard to see exactly what the attendance was like because they have the lights pretty much completely dimmed besides the court. So on TV, very difficult to see how many people are actually there in attendance for the All-Star game. But it was the first year of the World USA versus World competition, which I actually kind of find it funny that they tried to spin it as a new thing because it's almost the same exact format as last year, where they had, an older All-Stars team, a younger All-Stars team, like U.S. stars, I should say. And then they had a world team last year. And then they had the Rising Stars team a part of it last year, but it was the same thing. It was 4 mini games of 12 minutes, each taking up basically like a quarter's worth of the game. So they kind of rebranded this year as a new thing, which was the actual All-Star game. It doesn't matter what the rest of All-Star weekend was like, let's be honest. All that matters was the actual All-Star game better? Was it an improvement? And for that matter, I cautiously say yeah. That's not a high bar to pass. Last year's All-Star game is the worst. Look up any footage. I beg of you, look up any footage of last year's NBA All-Star game, and legitimately, you will find a higher level of competition at any local YMCA. Last year's All-Star game was an absolute joke. And this year's All-Star game, I still saw a lot of, walking around, just standing around, nobody playing defense at all. I mean, to be fair, that is what you'll get in a regular NBA game anyways, but that's besides the point. You still get the non-trying, whatever, high-scoring game. But I will say, 2 players really stood out to me as looked like they were actually trying. And that was Victor Wembanyama, who actually said before the game that he was going to try as hard as he could. Wanted to play with regular game intensity. And then Kawhi Leonard, who I think had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he was not named to the initial All-Star team when they did the East and West selections. Which, I mean, I agree. He was the biggest snub for sure. There's at least 3 guys named out of the West that I think Kawhi Leonard should have been named over. But Wembanyama and Kawhi Leonard, those are the 2 guys I thought stood out that actually looked like they were trying. And maybe did you get a little bit of extra competition around that? Maybe. I didn't really notice it. Was it, again, more trying than last year? Yeah, but again, that's a very, very low bar to exceed. And the last question is, how did the Pistons, how did the 2 Pistons, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, how did they play in the All-Star game? So Cade Cunningham, this is his second All-Star game. Jalen Duren, his first appearance. The first game, World versus Stars, which went to overtime. 37-35, the U.S. Stars team won. Cade Cunningham, 4 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist, 2 of 6 shooting. 3 steals and a block. So overall pretty good. And then Jalen Duren, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists on 1 of 4 shooting. That was from that first matchup. You then had the second matchup, Stars versus Stripes, the 2 different U.S. teams. And in this one, great games from the Pistons. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 6 shooting for Cade Cunningham. So great overall game right there. And then Jalen Duren in just 4 minutes, 7 points and 3 rebounds and 3 of 4 shooting. So good stuff right there. Good Pistons show out. Meanwhile, for the Stars versus Stripes, the championship, Cade Cunningham, 0 of 1 shooting, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 0 points in that last game. Meanwhile, Jalen Duren, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 of 3 shooting. And the Stars, they get that win. And that's the All-Star game. Fun? I mean, again, they tried more than last year, but that's a very low bar to surpass.
If you missed today's installment of On the Docket, podcast it at foxsports1019.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to tune in live weekdays at noon on Jackson's Fox Sports 101.9 FM.